No, thank you and for the opportunity. I am not too happy this morning, but I think that we have to move on. Sina, I've seen the topic, and it is true that 5 people have filed to contest the highest office of the New Patriotic Party. That is the flag bearership. We call it the arrowhead, to lead the party into the 2028 general elections. And so now, I said I'm worried because when we lost the 2004 elections, 2024 elections, thank you. It is true that all members of the New Patriotic Party, including myself here, were not happy and were devastated to the extent at which we lost the elections. And not long ago, the party leadership came out with the word that we have to start rebuilding the party and stop complaining. And so now, the rebuilding process for me, and as I asked and I was explained to details, include finding out reasons why we lost the elections. That abysmal performance that we show in the 2024 elections. By way of researching to know what actually happened. Where did we go wrong? What were we supposed to do as a party and we didn't do? To the extent that our strongholds in this country, the New Patriotic Party, Ashanti region, Central region, it was difficult for us to get the percentage that we used to get since 1992. But Sina, as I sat here this morning, I only heard of a team was put together, money was given to them to compile reasons why, go around the constituencies, which actually they did, to get the reasons why we lost the election, and report was put together. But unfortunately, it's not made available to members of the party through regional constituency polling station for us to know exactly why we lost the elections. For instance, in my region, 11 constituencies, we lost all the constituencies, both presidential and parliamentary. So as I'm speaking this morning, in the Upper West region, all the 11 seats, NDC have them. We don't have a single seat in the Upper West region. So isn't it curious enough for me to know what went wrong? Because before the election, we won Lambuse, we were holding Lambuse, and we were holding Sisala East. I hope you know Sisala East, that's Tumu. Yeah. And then Nando Ambroseri, former Minister of Interior. 3 seats, and we lost. So it is very important in the rebuilding process to feed the party, to understand where we are, and some of the reasons, the mistakes that probably we made and that caused us this abysmal performance. So that in moving forward, we will not repeat those mistakes. We will not repeat those things that caused us a defeat in the 2024 elections. But Sina, unfortunately, the party, we are still don't know the reasons. And Sina, in the rebuilding process, there are certain critical decisions. For instance, the process of selecting a flag bearer to lead the party into the 2028 election is also part of the rebuilding process. So now, if you know the history of NPP and you understand the NPP politics, you know at every point in time, it is not always by consensus. People will show up to want to lead the party, and in that process, a level playing field expected to offer all of them to canvass for the votes through the party structures, and then at the end of the day, the delegate will decide. And so far, what is happening in the process with regards to giving a level playing field for those who have filed so far, I am worried that from the leadership, national leadership of the party is not offering that playing field, level playing field, to be fair to all the aspirants. Ask me why, for instance. So now, we just finished our Congress, National Congress in Legon. So now, it was worrying, whether that was intentional or not. But political watchers, party members, all Ghanaians see what went on there. So now, before then, people who has expressed their desire to contest the highest office, we know them. Kennedy Ajapon, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Brian Achampong, Kobna Ajia Ajapon, Honorable Yao Edichum, former education minister. And so now, the agreement was all these people will be given some time to also interact with party supporters, party delegates who were around through the inner perimeter. But we never saw that happen. It was only one person that was given the opportunity. And that is not fair. That is not, you are not giving a fair and level playing field for all these people. And that is defeating the rebuilding process. So not long ago, when the candidates were given time and days to come to the party office and file their nomination, I was there on Wednesday. I followed the one I'm supporting, Honorable Kennedy Ajapon, to file. I said, yes, the media was there. And they covered everything. His supporters trooped there, you saw it. But the party never used the party official handles to stream live on what was happening there. And when I did my checks, Honorable Bright Achampon did not get that opportunity. Edichum did not get that opportunity. Kobna Ajia Ajapon was the first person to go and file his nomination. He was not accorded that opportunity. Only one candidate in the name of Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. And so now, this time, we didn't go quiet. We asked questions. We asked the leadership. And the explanations of us, it's not adding up. It's not adding up. So as a party member, as a former constituency secretary, and I understand the party constitution and where we are now, and my desires for us to win power in 2028 general election, I should be worried, and I'm worried. The simple thing is that it's like we don't know what happened to us. And so now, let me tell you something. In 2008, Google and you get the results. We needed just 23,000 plus votes to win the elections. And we never had it in the first round. We had to go for second round. Second round was bad anyway. Final 10 has to decide. We came from Ward to 10 with my MC then, and it was difficult to entertain. Former President Kufuor is still sitting there. They go to Wenchi, they couldn't entertain because the NDC has taken over. The reason is that we couldn't manage the outcome of our primaries leading into the general elections. I remember after Legon, I supported Alan then. After the primaries, when we went to our regions, what was happening to some of us in our various regions? It wasn't easy those days to go openly and say this is the candidate you are supporting, especially Alan Kojo Chirimanten. And I think that forced him to issue a statement. And finally had to tender his resignation letter, even though the party rejected it. But that affected us in the elections. So now we never learn lessons. We suffered 2016. We won elections. 2024, I have gone through all the results. Because you can't compare a candidate who is coming from an opposition, especially when you are bringing the issue of former President Kufuor, when he contested in 1996, in 2000, then against the sitting president, President Rawlings, who came through, he was a military leader, but the point we metamorphosed into multi-party democracy. And if we know the situation and the atmosphere at that time, everybody praised Kufuor with the results, the percentages he was getting. But eventually, we won the 2000 elections. So I am worried. And I have every right to be worried because it's like the national leadership of the party don't care. If they don't care, for whatever reasons, I don't know. But as a grassroots member, I know the polling station executives, the constituency executives, they care. Because I go around and I know the situation. And in my region, in my constituency, every day people call me, we talk on politics. And we know where we are at the moment. So now what prevents us from just preventing those things? I am saying this because we are all human beings and we have blood. And if we look at people are spending their time and resources into it, having hope and believing in themselves that they will be fairly treated and they will be accorded all the opportunity to do it. So if it's lacking at the end of the day and then we are unable to put our ass together to win the election, who calls them? It is the leadership of the party. That is why I wanted us to go through the old system. Let's start from the polling station. Elect the 5 polling station executives. We come to the constituency level, get the executives. We come to the national level, and then we get to the national level. And I know some of these people sitting there as national executive would have just been voted out of office. But I don't know why, whether they are trying to, I just can't understand. Your purpose, your main prime objectives is to, even as a general secretary or national organizer, when you win elections for the party, it's at your own advantage because it goes into your CV and you can boast with it. But now, having said that, yes, it is true that all in all, the fight is still on. 5 people have filed, and so far, you have seen what is happening. Some have started engaging party delegates, and some have also started mobilizing themselves to hit the grounds running. But the delegates, as I sit now talking this morning, I am fully aware by now, most of the delegates across the country would have made up their mind, the choice they want to endorse to lead the party. Why? Because where we are at the moment, nobody is happy as an MPP member because we are in opposition. So how do we win 2028 general elections? We have to win. We can win the elections when we correct some of the mistakes. We can win the election when we listen to the people of Ghana, not only MPP people, what they are telling us, what they want. So now in this case, it is the market. You are going to the market. You have to find out what product that the market wants. So you present that product, and when you are able to present that product, I don't think you come home empty-handed. So now that is to mean that by getting a leader who will be accepted by the people of Ghana, a leader who NDC will look at and will not have anything to say about that person, a leader who cares for the party, and a leader who represents the voice of the voiceless in MPP, and the leader who always talk for the grassroots. And so now, you know, among all the 5 people, Honorable Kennedy Akumpreko Ajapon represents that. And his fighting for the grassroots of MPP has incurred the wrath of senior members of this party. And some, to a point, cannot hide it. Sometimes they say it or you see it in their faces. But they said yes, because these are the people who are the base, keep fighting every day in and day out. So when we get political power, we don't have to forget about them. We don't have to ask them, go to online and fill your form. So this is the man we are talking here. It is not for personal things. Having sat down, did all the analysis, look at the results, the candidate we presented in the 2024 election, and how we lost the elections. And so now, there's no research that will vindicate the candidate. Yeah, you can separate it, party issues and candidate issues. The candidate also has his baggage. And we need to say it, Sina. Sometimes people who don't want to hear it. But if you don't say it, you are not confronted with the reality. And I don't think we'll be doing ourselves any good in moving forward. So, Sina, my appeal to the delegates this morning is to always look at yourself. Yes, I'm a member of the party. I am happy with the situation of the party now. I am happy with what national leadership of the party is doing. If no, then you have to try to be part of those who want the change. And nobody hate anybody. It is about changing the situation, and collectively, everybody is now on board, and we prosecute the agenda of this country. So now, if Ghana is better, we all benefit. If Ghana is in disarray, we all suffer. So that is where we are at the moment. So they should let us talk. It is that period. People will bring the research, the data. People will bring the facts. So now I have not seen it. It is, I can't come to terms with it. Looking at the results, the just ended general elections results, so now, and the new patriotic party. This is not a small party. A party of B.J. Derucha, a party of John Ajakun Kufuor and the rest. These are heavyweights in Ghanaian politics. You can't say it, talk without mentioning their names. So now some regions, in the Upper West region I have mentioned, 0 seats. You go to Upper East region, 15 constituencies, no single seat. You go to Volta region, no seat. So now, we have never, usually Western region. It is not, the Western region is our strong base. But we have only 2 MPs from Western region. Greater Accra is poor. Everywhere you go, when you see the map, it's scary. Then you ask yourself, when can we catch up? And people think we should be quiet. We shouldn't say it. That wouldn't be fair. When you are running and you knock your leg and fall, you have to look at where you knock your leg. Then so the next time when you are coming, you will repeat the same mistake. So I think that based on some of these facts and data, so now the party have no choice than to present a new face to face the NDC. Fortunately for us, the NDC, President John Dramani Mahama, will not also be in the ballot come 2028 general election. So it is going to be new. But in my candidate, the person I'm talking here supporting Kennedy Agyapong, is not new in Ghanaian politics. This is a man who has been in parliament for over 16 years. And this is a man representing this party many occasions. That is the voice of the underprivileged in the NPP, the voice of the grassroots. Everywhere he is known. Every nook and cranny of this country, Kennedy Agyapong is known. And this is a man who has prepared to hold the battle, to hold the fort and face the battle. And I always ask myself, and I ask my friends in NPP, tell me who in NDC, if they elect, that can beat Kennedy Agyapong in any election in this country. Tell me the person. Is it General Mosquito Asedun Katia? Or is it my senior brother? So these are some of, so Sina, it is power. And we all have to be gearing towards winning political power, not trying. Sina, a coach would like a player too much, but when in the field of play, you are not performing well, where you are supposed to man is leaking, the coach will have no option than to substitute you. So why do we have substitution? So that is basically the issue. And it's not Mujeeb that is saying it. It is the data. See, now how many regions did we win in the last elections? Even in our strongholds now, according to some political watchers, cannot now be called our strongholds. So I want to know why Asante region, we perform badly. For the first time in the history, I think NDC had almost how many MPs from Asante region? It has never happened. So it's just like, I don't know what went wrong, and I need to know. Central region, Western region is gone. Greater Accra, we're struggling. And you are still asking that the person, Naipe, where from that slogan? The 41%, which sometimes I am shy to mention, is gone. Because it is not there waiting for anybody that, oh, this one, when I'm coming again, the 41% is fixed. So I only need 9 so that you go and add it to the 41%. So what about the NDC 56% that President Mahama won with? So he's there. So anybody that is coming to lead the NDC is now on the foot of the 56% going into the election. Is that the logic they are telling us? So it is disheartening, it is sickening, as if we don't know where we are. And people don't want people to talk. But because of parochial interest, deep self-interest, That is where MPP is where we are today. And we need to change for the better. We have no option than to change. We have no option than to allow the delegates of the party to independently assess the candidate and decide on their choice. So now that is the beauty. Before 2016 elections, I was working with Kwabena Japan at the party office as one of his aides. So now he never allowed, even though there were pressures, but he said, no, allow the constituencies to come out with their parliamentary candidates. So when you allow the party independent to allow to produce their own parliamentary candidate, they are ready to go any length to ensure that the person wins. Alaji, he faced stiff opposition, but he put his foot down and got that happen. So now in 2016 elections, we won 169. 69 MPs in parliament, which we have never had since 1992. So when he left, and the dynamics changed and some people came in, from 169 to 130 what? 137 or 136. Now we had to go and beg Esiama, which we finally said because he was going independent, we had part company with him. Eventually we had to accept him back to be able to get the numbers. And from 137 to now how many? Me, I don't even know the number. Whether is it still 80? 87.
No, so on Monday.
Oh, exactly. Oh my God. So now I think that I will put it here because I'm getting too emotional and passionate about this thing. So it tells you that things are not adding up because we are deteriorating. And we don't want to accept changes. Even if you want to go with the argument that President Nana Akufo-Addo enjoyed second or third times, in 2008, President Akufo-Addo nearly won in the first round. He had 49. Then somebody had 49. And its percentage from 41 to 49, you think it's easy? And this man was come. My brother, so now I yielded. So it's so painful. It's so frustrating. So now MPP in history to be struggling in Ghana this way. This thing shouldn't be happening in our lifetime. It is too bad. It is too bad. That is why I think that we have to change the leadership, especially the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. It doesn't have to be in anybody's interest. It should be a collective interest because it is power we want to improve the living conditions of the people of Ghana. That is most paramount to some of us. Why? You keep marking time. You keep marking time. So now, the results will have to tell us something. We have to do introspection inside and tell ourselves the gospel truth and say, my brother, it didn't go well. And certain drastic measures has to be taken, and that is where we are getting to. And I think that we must change. And inshallah, we will get a new leader in the person of Kennedy Akumpreko Japan to lead us to the promised land. Thank you.
Thank you.